afternoon, everybody. I'm going to give it just a minute here. I'm going to see if anybody shows up. I'm going to give you all a chance to get on and say hello and see where we are. All right, let me do this. That way, sometimes my comments on my computer, like the comments you type, don't show up on my computer for some reason. So I've got my phone over here too to see all the different comments. So, how has your day been so far? Hey Amanda, I'm glad to see you here. Jennifer's here too. So, oh my gosh, the snow is melting outside. I am so excited. We live in Ohio and we went from like 20-degree temperatures up to 40s, and like yesterday's high was 55. We actually went out for a walk for the first time and I don't know how long. It was amazing. But yes, I'm glad that the spring weather is finally coming. So we've got a few people already. So today this is all about the $20 extreme grocery budget. And when I came up with like this list of foods and when I came up with the meal ideas that came with it, like holy cow, let me tell you how excited I was to share this all with you. Got Cassandra here and Orchid is here too. Thank you all for joining me live. I love being able to actually talk to people instead of just myself. So that is always fun. So in the description, you guys can check it out later, but I have a link to the PDF that has the grocery list and the meal ideas. So you can look at that at any time. I'll be showing it here on the screen in a couple minutes as well. Jennifer, your doctor suggested you go dairy-free. The coconut milk is not your favorite. Yeah, dairy-free is hard. I am so sorry about that. I did a Whole30 for one round, and yeah, I missed my cottage cheese. Let me just tell you that. Thank you, Jesus, for melting snow. Yeah, done with winter. So before I get into the list, I need to kind of give a little bit of a backstory. Jennifer's here too. Hey. So this started, gosh, seven years ago, right when Allison was born in 2013. I was working at the time. I was a massage therapist. And after I had Allison, I'm like, we need to stay. I think I need to stay home with her and be a stay-at-home mom. So we dropped our income. So I was planning on breastfeeding, and it turned out it didn't work, and I needed to use formula for Allison. We decided to take that formula out of our grocery budget. And what I didn't realize was how expensive formula was. Oh my gosh. And we found out that Sam's Club was the cheapest. It was $23, and that would last her about a week. So we had a $60 budget. Taking out that $23 from that left us with $37 a week for groceries. We did that for an entire year, paying for Allison's formula. And oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. So we did $37 a week. We also ate for $30 a week 2 times, both for 4-month periods while John was out of a job. Now, these first 2 times, I was clueless about nutrition, okay? When I first had Allison, like, I didn't care what I ate. I basically, yeah, I had no idea what was healthy and what was not, so we just ate whatever. Lots of the boxed macaroni and cheese, lots of bologna sandwiches, and I'm not dissing that at all. Like, you've seen my Dollar Tree meal videos more than likely. When you're in that kind of a situation, you gotta do what you gotta do. So no judgment on the mac and cheese, because I still love it. But I really didn't know what was healthy. Let's see. Yeah, I was a massage therapist. I did it for 6 years, right before I had Allison. And as soon as I had her, like, I didn't feel like, yeah, I was called to do it anymore. It just like dropped flat. Crazy. Now, the third time that John lost his job, I was a little more knowledgeable, I guess, about what was healthy, because at that point I had already lost my 20 pounds. John lost some weight with me. So we were used to starting to eat healthier. So this third time I was like, okay, so how can I buy as much nutritious food as possible for $30 and you know, still relatively eat healthy and still eat a lot of food. So we managed to do it. We did that for 4 months, and it worked out pretty well. Now, people asked me, and they still ask me, why didn't you apply for like government assistance, or did you qualify for it? I think we may have qualified for it, but we chose not to because we had a big emergency fund. We followed Dave Ramsey, so we had 6 months of expenses saved up. We just didn't want to touch it. We wanted to leave it there as long as possible, and if we truly needed it, then we would definitely dip into it. So it's not that we um, weren't eligible for it. It's just we chose not to do it because we knew we had something to fall back on. And if you are in that situation and need to take it, definitely take it. That's what it's there for, and there is no judgment. We just chose not to. I'm going to get into the list of foods now. I did a bunch of research, and I looked at actually Walmart's grocery website because I do their grocery pickup every so often, and they tell you the price of everything, and they also give you the nutrition information like when you click on it. So this is where I'm basing all of my items. First of all, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not diagnosing or prescribing like here's what you eat and here's what you need to eat to lose weight or be healthy or whatever. I can't do that. I use a combination of Walmart plus the MyFitnessPal app to calculate calories and nutrition that way. And the items I'm going to show you and the meal ideas, it's just one way to use these items. This is how I would probably feed myself and my family. So you might use some of these items differently, or you might not even use some of them, and that's totally fine. So leave comments here if you have any questions or if you have any other suggestions on what you can add to this list. Let me grab a drink. Hold on. I taught Payo this morning, and when I use my Payo voice, I tend to yell out loud. So I start to lose my voice. So there's that. All right. So first of all, let's start with protein, because I believe that protein is one of the most important parts of your diet. Because first of all, it helps keep you full. A lot of proteins are relatively cheap. Protein is the building block of your body. It boosts your metabolism the more you eat. Yeah, I try to base all of my meals around some form of protein. So different proteins that I found that were fairly cheap was a whole chicken. Now, chicken breasts, like that chicken breasts are what I usually buy, but they're expensive. They're like $1.89, $1.99 a pound usually. And a whole chicken, I've seen it like 79 or 99 cents a pound. And it's a lot cheaper because the people, you know, they haven't done anything to it. They haven't had to chop it up or anything, so they can sell it at a cheaper price that way. So you could buy the uncooked chicken, cook it yourself, and use all the parts of it, and that's why it's cheaper for you. So whole chicken is one protein that you can buy. Another one is ground turkey. Now, depends on the brand. Now, Walmart has a certain brand of ground turkey called Festive is the brand name of it. And that is only $1.66 for a 1 pound roll. Other brands of ground turkey I've seen for like $3 or something like that for a pound of it. So, I mean, that's a really good price, $1.66. I've tried the Festive brand before, I think only one time, and honestly, I wasn't a huge fan. It tasted different to me somehow. Other people say it's really good. Maybe I just had like a bad batch, or I don't know. They also have like different seasoned ones, so maybe I could try something different, and I don't know. But that is one. So $1.66 for 1 pound. That has 4 servings in it, by the way. So that you can always make it stretch as well. Whole chickens in Ontario from $9 to $15. Everything in Canada seems so expensive. I'm so sorry. Let's see. All right, here is one that really surprised me, and I've never bought this before, but I want to know your opinions on it as well. But Walmart sells a 10-pound bag of chicken leg quarters. And I'd never heard of that before, to be honest with you. I had to go actually look it up, like what part of the chicken is like the leg quarter? You know what I mean? So it is both the thigh and the drumstick together. And that 10-pound bag of leg quarters is $4.38 at my store, which is like 43 cents per pound. So a whole chicken was 99 cents. These leg quarters are like 43 cents per pound. And gosh, yeah, like that was crazy. So I looked at the bag on the Walmart website and it says you're supposed to get 30 servings out of that bag. So that could be a good option. Um, that's on my grocery list, by the way. So I'll be showing you my grocery list here in a little bit, but that was amazing. I'm going to buy that this weekend for the first time and try that out for myself. I'm not usually a fan of chicken with the bone in it, but I'm willing to do it. Let's see, canned tuna is another cheap one. Tuna is really high in protein. Now, I guess the problem, it's 68 cents at Walmart, and you only get like 1 or 2 servings per can. So you might get more for your money by buying something else, but I still put canned tuna on the list because it is still pretty cheap. Another protein is eggs. Eggs are a really good source of protein. Each egg has about 6 grams of protein. At my store right now, they're $1.28 per dozen. And if you eat 2 eggs as a serving, you can get 6 servings out of that. So that is a really cheap price. And then to finish off the protein part, definitely your vegetarian / vegan proteins, your beans. Dried beans are cheaper than canned. They are very high in protein and high in fiber as well. Those are both nutrients that will help keep you full for a very long time. Now, let's see. I looked at pinto beans and I looked at black beans. Pinto beans, for a 1-pound bag of dried beans, was $1. A 2-pound bag was $1.48, so a little bit cheaper. That 2-pound bag has 26 servings in it. So gosh, yeah, the chicken has 30 servings, the beans have 26 servings. You could definitely do something with that. Black beans were $1.14 for a pound and $2.22 for 2 pounds. So not much of a difference there. They also have lentils. Lentils are also really cheap. I think it was like 98 cents for a 1-pound bag. I was looking more just at like the pinto and black beans, but the lentils are a good option as well. Let's see, Cassandra, you've always gotten the fresh ground turkey, not really used the roll or frozen. Let's see, the brand, I have used the Butterball brand. I actually just bought the Butterball turkey sausage over the weekend, and that kind is really good. I'm also a fan of the Jenny O, and what I've noticed is that at least my Sam's Club has the cheapest price on the Jenny O turkey. It is, they sell a big 5-pound container for, oh my gosh, what was it? Like $13 or $14. That's like $3-ish a pound, I think, and that's the 93.7. So that one's a little bit, it's a lot leaner than some of the other ones. And when I have the money, I will buy one of those and divide it up and freeze it that way. But I think the Jenny O brand, I think is my favorite. I've tried the Aldi before too, and that's pretty good too. So we have our protein, and now let's get into so one of the things that I try to do, like with my meal planning, I need to have a protein, I need to have a vegetable. And I know that when you're on a budget, that you have to do what you have to do, and not everyone can buy like fresh produce or as much produce as they want, and that's totally fine. So looking at some of the produce that they have at Walmart, broccoli was one of the ones that I saw that was fairly cheap. Now, broccoli is really high in vitamin C. A 1-cup serving has 2 grams of fiber, broccoli also has some protein in it as well. Now, the broccoli actually is the more expensive of the vegetables that I saw. It's $1.50 per pound, but broccoli is one of the ones that you can weigh before buying, so you can, you know, get a little part of it, and it's still pretty cheap. Now, cabbage is another one that I found. Cabbage is really high in vitamin C and K. It has 2 grams of fiber per 1 cup of cabbage. And cabbage is at my store 68 cents per pound. And I mean, when you buy cabbage, like you get a big cabbage, so you can easily shred it and add it to certain dishes. You can chop it in half and, like, you know, divide it into different meals. One cabbage can go a very long way. What I like about them is that they're lower in calories, so you can add a lot to it. You can stretch out your meal. Definitely love the cabbage. Carrots are another one. Now, carrots are really high in vitamin A. A 1 pound bag is 92 cents. And I like to buy the baby carrots just because I don't like having to peel it all. But I feel like you get a little bit more for your money when you buy the actual carrots. And then plus, I plan on peeling, chopping off the ends, and throwing it all into a pot with those chicken bones that I'm going to use and make like my own chicken broth. So then we have onions. Onions are good like for flavoring things. I do plan on buying an onion. They're like 90 cents per pound, but you can take like one onion and you can divide it into multiple meals that way. And then potatoes are another one. Potatoes are more starchy, but they help to also fill up a meal. A 5 pound bag of the large russets at my Walmart was $2.94, which makes it about 59 cents per pound, which is actually really good. And like 5 pounds is a lot. When you're trying to like cook it. Like, I feel like I can't go through a whole bag. It takes me like 2 or 3 weeks to go through it. Now, if you don't want to buy a huge 5 pound bag, they also sell them individually, and that is 68 cents per pound instead of the 59 cents per pound. So a little bit more expensive, but if you know you're not going to be using a lot of it, you can always buy like one. And then we have frozen vegetables as well. Now, frozen veggies are just as nutritious as fresh because a lot of times they will take the vegetables like they'll pick it and then freeze it pretty much right away. So it keeps most of its nutrients. The frozen veggies, they range between 80 cents to $1, just depending on the style, how big the bag is. Usually, I know Walmart has 12-ounce bags, and most of them have 4 servings. So that's a pretty good deal. Getting 4 servings for about $1, that's really good. Let's see. Canned vegetables are next, and they range between 44 cents to 72 cents at Walmart, depending on what kind you get. And each can has about 3 or 4 servings. Canned vegetables are also good. Like, when you're in that position where you don't have a whole lot of money, you take what you can get, and canned vegetables are still good. Some of them do have some extra sodium in it, so if you feel like rinsing off the vegetables, that's totally fine, and add your own seasonings. That's okay too. Getting into some fruit, bananas and apples seem to be the cheapest year-round that I've seen. Bananas at my store right now are 56 cents per pound. And when I typically buy a bunch of them, I can get like 5 or 6 of them for about $1 or something like that. So that's really cheap. That's enough to last you almost a full week. And then apples, depending on when they're in season, they're usually about 99 cents a pound. The Gala apples I've seen are typically the cheapest. At least at Aldi, I can get a 3 pound bag for $2.49 or something right now. But still, 99 cents per pound is really good, and you can core and dice the apple to make it stretch further, add it to things like yogurt or oatmeal or things. So that is it for the produce. A couple other just random things. Rice is another one. And I looked at the nutrition info for both the white rice and the brown rice, and there is not much of a difference. The white rice has 1 gram of fiber, and the brown rice has 2 grams of fiber. So there's not a whole lot different from that. And the nutrient wise, it seems to be about the same. The brown rice, let's see, a 2-pound bag was $1.37, and you get 20 servings out of that. So that's enough to make quite a few meals out of that actually. So rice is a big one. So when you combine like rice and beans together, that creates huge meals for not a lot of money. Another thing that I saw is pancake mix. Now, some people don't like to buy pancake mix because they think it is not as cost efficient, and they are right to a point. It could be more cost efficient to make it yourself. Hold on, I'm sorry. It's that Pio voice again. All right. But if you have limited money, then a box of pancake mix is totally fine. The buttermilk pancake mix that I saw at Walmart is $1.68, and it makes 15 servings. So it can be cheaper in the short run than buying all the ingredients for the pancakes, like the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, whatever. The pancake mix can be good, like, you know, in a pinch. And then I also wrote down yogurt. It depends on whether you like yogurt or not. Now, I prefer the Greek yogurt because there's more protein in it, but the regular yogurt is a lot cheaper. It is $1.84 for a 32-ounce tub as opposed to Greek yogurt, which is $3.49. So it's almost half the price. And the regular yogurt has 5 grams of protein instead of 15 grams. You can get, let's see, in the 32-ounce tub, a serving size is 3/4 of a cup, and you'll get 5 servings out of that container. But you can easily like use less and stretch that out. I actually saw a YouTuber, Frugal Fit Mom. She did something similar to this. She actually bought pancake mix and yogurt, and as her breakfast, instead of buying syrup, she made the pancakes and then put the yogurt on top of it, just, you know, for extra protein or whatever. So that looks pretty good. That's kind of what I was going for there. Another breakfast item is oats. Oats are really, really good. They have a good amount of fiber and protein in them. And you can buy a really big 42-ounce container for $2.46. And that container has 30 servings. So you can make like a half cup of oats with some water or some milk. You could add some peanut butter to add some fat. You could put diced apples or diced bananas in there as well to kind of bulk it up a little bit. But I love using oats as well. Another thing is, speaking of peanut butter is one of them. Peanut butter is really high in fat, the monounsaturated fats, also moderate protein as well. I really like getting the natural peanut butter just because the only ingredients are peanuts and sometimes salt, but that one can be expensive. At Walmart, one of those natural peanut butter jars is $3.52, whereas a jar of regular peanut butter with the added sugar is $1.32. So in that situation, I would say just go for the one with sugar. That it's totally fine. Another item is whole wheat bread. Let's see. Whole wheat bread is $1.48, and there's 22 slices in there, so either 22 servings or 11 servings if you're using a sandwich. The whole wheat bread has 3 grams of protein per slice and 2 grams of fiber per slice. So putting those two together can really make an impact on just like the nutrition and keeping you full longer. So bread is an option too for sandwiches. And then you have your pasta and your spaghetti sauce. Those are 2 pantry staples that I try to keep at all times. A box of pasta is like 89 cents. and it has 8 servings. So that can really stretch, especially if you add other things to it like extra vegetables or like the ground turkey. And the spaghetti sauce is 88 cents, so you could add that to it. And then 2 more things. The last 2 items that I found, I didn't really think about it until I saw another YouTube video that was doing something similar. But this whole time I'm like, well, you know, I could just buy bread or whatever, or buy tortillas. But this lady bought flour and yeast. So a 5-pound bag of flour is $1.18, all-purpose flour. And then she bought that little 3-packet of yeast, and that was $1.34. But with that, like, you could make enough bread or tortillas to last you the entire week. So you can get more for your money by actually making your own. Now you could buy your own bread too, and that's totally fine. But cost-wise, it might be more efficient to do it this way. It just depends on how much time you have, basically. So that is the entire list of foods that I would recommend if you only had $20. So let me get into the fun part, because I looked through all of this and I said, what can I make using some of these ingredients? Well, I came up with a grocery list, and this is what's in the PDF in that description. So feel free to print it out, and this might be backwards for you, and I'm sorry. But my grocery list, okay, what I decided to buy was the 10-pound bag of chicken leg quarters, a bag of brown rice. I'm buying eggs, cabbage, carrots, pinto beans, pancake mix, yogurt, bananas, onion, diced tomatoes, and sour cream. Now, I did not put sour cream on the list, but because of the things I'm making, I thought maybe that would be a good addition. Total $19.88. That is an estimate. So the things that I plan on making with this, it will probably serve one person for about 5 days. This is just an estimate because I looked at everything, I calculated the nutrition for it all, and I really tried to make it as close to 2,000 calories per day as possible, because that's the daily recommended amount for like an average person. And it worked out. I was able to get, now I forget the amount of servings, the amount of dinners, but it all added up to like 80 cents per meal, or $2.40 per day if you only ate the 3 meals per day. So my budget meal ideas. What I'm going to make is a stir fry. So what I'm going to do is take all that chicken and bake it in the oven and pull off all the chicken, all the meat. And I'm going to take all the bones, plus the onion, the onion outside part, plus the carrot shavings, and throw it all in my slow cooker and make chicken broth out of it for later. So with the chicken, making a stir fry with some of the chicken, some rice, eggs, cabbage, and carrots. Very simple stir fry. And I should probably say, these are not very fancy meals because you only have $20 and you're doing what you can with what you have. Next up is a burrito bowl. So the burrito bowl will have chicken, rice, beans, a little bit of the onion, and like some sour cream to flavor it. And then I'm going to make some soup. It will probably be, it's a very simple soup, kind of like a taco soup, chicken taco soup, I don't know. It'll have chicken and rice and beans, a little bit more of the onion, and a can of diced tomatoes. That is optional, the tomatoes, but I figured it might add some sort of a good flavor. I will also add that chicken broth that I'm going to make with all that stuff. And then homemade bread to go with it. I've got in that PDF that is up there, there are 2 recipes, one for the white bread and one for homemade tortillas. I'm going to be using those. Next, more burrito. So there's burritos with sauteed cabbage as a side item. So it'll use the chicken and the rice. I'm going to use some of those pinto beans to make refried beans, just to, you know, change it up a bit. Some of the onion, and making homemade tortillas. And then another dinner will be egg burritos. This is going to be like a hodgepodge of whatever else is left over. So I've got the egg, I have those homemade tortillas, and then probably some sour cream. Then, like I said, if I have any leftover rice or beans or something, that can go in there too. If I have any leftover any cabbage, I might put that on the side. Don't know. And then the breakfast that I have planned is pancakes with yogurt and a banana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dinners and then a breakfast. This should feed one person for 5 days. It all depends on how much you typically eat in a regular day. But the most exciting thing to me is that I made this menu. Now I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and I'm going to buy all this stuff and I am going to make it for myself. And we'll see if it feeds my family too, but I'm going to make all of it. I'm going to put it in a video and it is going to come out next Friday. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be able to see, like, is this going to work? Can you really feed yourself for $20 a week? And I mean, it's not fancy by any means, but it should still be good. And I will be using like different seasonings from my kitchen and things, but the main basic items are what's on that list right there. So that's super exciting. I cannot wait. So if you all have any questions, let me know. Leave me a comment. But that is all I have for you right now. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to go out and buy all this stuff. I cannot wait. You will see this tomorrow in a picture form once I finish my shopping tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting. Um, yes, that is it. I am so glad that you all came out and listened. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you gained a few ideas on just different things to help eat healthy on a budget. I know not all of us are like in an emergency situation, but if you are, then hopefully these meal ideas and the grocery list items can help. So I will have all of those recipes and everything in a video next Friday. So if you have any other questions, just leave a comment and I will get back to you whenever I can. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment as well. But I appreciate you all watching. I'm going to get ready to do the shopping trip tomorrow. So I will see you all later. Have a great day.